So with the real screeners here to give their thoughts on us, we have Carrie and Miranda. All right, so the obvious question here is, did you get scared?
I don't think I got scared. I was more confused kind of throughout. Well, I guess processing a lot of things, but there was parts that scared, like jumping, but not really scared. It wasn't like a scary movie for me.
Right, some people are calling it maybe like a thriller, right? And then of course there was comedy sprinkled throughout. I mean, Miranda, what did you think of the comedy and how it was played in this movie?
Yeah, I think it kind of helped ease some of the edge of your seat feelings, and it's kind of played. I mean, sometimes when we're, scared of situations, there's always that comedic relief anyway. Right. So that helped, and it kind of kept like the family piece. Like I liked how they kept the family together the whole time, and their genuine reactions, because it kind of helped rather than just being like a horror film.
Right. So it was a little different, and that's kind of what Jordan Peele has been known for with Get Out and with this movie. Have you ladies seen Get Out?
Yes. We actually just watched it a few nights ago. Yeah, because we haven't seen it before.
So how does this movie compare?
Well, to be honest, I thought Get Out had a better, more clear message, and even though it was twisted and it was a thriller, but you could see the deeper meaning, whereas this one I'm still like, what?
It's pretty ambiguous, right?
Yeah, I like immediately after watching Get Out, I wanted to watch it again, but this one I think I need to take some time to like
percolate a little bit, right?
Go
sure
think
does.
it, mull it over, and then watch it again.
Okay, so one thing that a lot of people agree on is that Lupita Nyong'o was phenomenal in this movie. I mean, do you all agree? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Great acting, I mean.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so on our show, The Real Screeners, the way we rate movies at the end is we go on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. How many reels would you give this movie?
I think I would give it a 4 right now, but I always go back and forth between how much I like a movie after I watch them again or just kind of think about them. But for now, I mean, it's obviously making me think a lot, so that's why I think it's probably a good movie, and it's getting a lot of people to talk apparently. So I think it's definitely a 4, almost a 5, maybe 4.5. But I just need to kind of go into my own meanings, I guess. And
right. Yeah, because this movie is saturated with some allusions, some social commentary, some deep themes, and a lot of people, like once that kind of settles and simmers, you kind of start to make those connections. Okay, so Miranda, moving to you, how many movie reels would you give this?
I had high expectations going into it. I don't know. I'm gonna say like 3.5, but probably 4.
See, I get you on that.
It's because I just watched Get Out too, and I was blown away, and I was really impressed by Get Out. But I think, it wasn't as scary as I thought, and then I don't know, I'm just still processing the meaning, so I think that's why I have to go with 3.5 right now. But maybe if I saw it again.
Right, and that definitely helps a lot when you do that.
The acting, not towards the acting, but it's just towards like the overall plot.
You don't want to give anything away, I can tell, right? Right, because there's like an explanation in there that people are kind of split on. Yeah. Right?
I have just a lot of questions.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you ladies, it'll all come to you tomorrow, or you might even come back to the Alamo Drafthouse and watch it again, huh?
Maybe.
I hope so, yeah. We'll see.
I'm gonna Google some stuff.
Yeah, go on Twitter and look it up.
Yeah, Jeremiah 11:11, right? Okay, well, thank you, ladies, for being on the show with the Real Screeners. You have a fantastic evening. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
We're here at the Alamo Drafthouse, and we have Jesse and Jenny, who just got out of Us, the new Jordan Peele flick. So, what about the hype for this movie? Do you guys think that this is one of the greatest horror films of all time, in your opinion?
No, it's not. It's not saying it's a bad movie, but you're putting it up against The Exorcist and things like that.
Right.
It's coming off of a big, I guess, fan base coming off of the first movie, Get Out, obviously, so people expected that, but this is not that at all. You're not going to get that at all. Okay. There is a plot twist that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Gotcha. As I'm walking out.
How does it compare to Get Out? How is Get Out different, I suppose?
You have to think about this one, I would say, a little more.
Okay.
The comedy's still there, given that it's Jordan Peele. It's still kind of hidden, but it's there. You can actually tell. But there's a lot more to think about. I'm sure there's got to be some sort of political statement that I'll figure it out on the way home. I'll figure it out on the way home.
So this movie does take more processing time in a way, because it's maybe a little bit more symbolic in a way?
It is, and at the end, the plot twist basically was hidden hidden throughout, in plain sight throughout the whole movie, without going into it too much. But that's basically what it was. But yeah, it's a lot more to process, to think about.
Excellent. And then, what did you think about the performances in the film, especially Lupita Nyong'o?
I thought she was great. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of hers, Star Wars fan. I thought the kids, yes, the kids were great.
Okay.
For being kid actors, it's always kind of like hit or miss. I thought the kids were great.
All right, well, on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels, 5 reels being the highest rating and 1 reel being the lowest. So how many reels out of 5 would you give this movie?
If I were to give Get Out 4.5 reels, this would probably be 4.
Gotcha. Do you think that this is a movie that requires multiple viewings?
It does, definitely. Multiple viewings to try to understand, or at least when you read about it, you're going to want to go back and be like, oh, okay, that's what he was trying to do. Because at first sight, it's like halfway through the movie, I looked at him, I'm like, do you have any idea what's going on?
Yeah. I was so confused. I'm still confused.
So definitely.
But I'm pretty sure
everything changes at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure once we're driving, we're like, oh my God, that makes sense.
Yeah, especially at the end, I was like, okay, if I was confused, I'm more confused now. But
okay, well,
sure
I appreciate sharing your reaction with us. And
Next up with the Real Screeners, we have Freddie and Amanda. Freddie, just go ahead and start off. What did you think of this movie?
Good movie. I say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you like so much about it to give it such a high rating?
To be honest, it's weird. It's a weird movie, but it's good. It's a good movie. It leaves you out of your seat like, what just happened? It's a good movie.
Okay. And so on our channel, we rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. So on a scale of 1 to 5, Amanda, how many reels would you give it?
5. It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it really creepy? A lot of people talked about the comedy. Was it funny for you, or was it more creepy?
I thought it was okay. The comedy was like weird at some points, like it wasn't necessary, but it was good.
By any chance, have any of you seen Get Out?
Yes.
Okay, how would you compare it maybe to that movie?
Honestly, Get Out is a lot better, in my opinion, because the comedy hits a certain point in that movie where it mixes in well. This movie, the comedy throws it off, and some points where I think it needs to be serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally gotcha. So, obviously Jordan Peele, he directed both of those movies. Do you see him having a future maybe in this horror genre?
I do. I really do, because he leaves you with those movies that kind of leave your head thinking like, what just happened? So I really hope, every time this guy drops a movie, I'm watching it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the movies. Is there anything else you guys would like to add?
No, everyone go watch it. It's a great movie.
All right.
Great movie.
All right, some satisfied customers. Thank you guys for visiting with the Real Screeners.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
all right, I'm here with Richard and Damon, who just got out of watching Us at the Alamo Drafthouse. And so, Mr. Richard, what was your initial reaction to this movie? Do you think that it is a great horror film in your opinion?
I think it's a horror comedy mix, similar to Get Out.
Okay.
Yeah, very very similar. I can see the similarities.
Okay. Comparing the two, which one did you enjoy more?
I think Get Out was better.
Get Out was better?
I think so.
Why?
I think so.
Why would you say that?
I just think the overall twist of the plot at the end was better in Get Out.
Okay.
The twist on this one was a little strange.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very strange, very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think of the acting in this film?
Well, I thought the acting was great. Yeah, the acting was good. I think the main characters were good. There's a few people in the movie that I didn't expect to be in there that I'd seen in other shows that I was excited about. So little kind of cameo appearances for me because I didn't know they were in the movie.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Damon? What did you think of this movie in general?
I honestly don't think it was all that great of a movie. I think they tried to oversell it with comedy too much.
Okay.
And it's not really so much a horror movie as it is trying to be a suspenseful movie.
Okay.
So
you think the comedy took away from like the scare factor maybe, or?
yes, I think they added too much comedy for it to be a horror movie.
Okay.
So, because they're adding a bunch of suspense, as in sitting at the edge of your seat waiting to see what's going to happen next, much more than horror. So like horror such as Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, that would be closer to horror.
Some people have commented on this movie needing multiple viewings to really get like everything that it has to offer. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. There's a lot of things in there I still don't fully understand. Yeah, that maybe if I read some things online, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What about
we'll see.
I completely agree with that. Okay. There's a lot of things that kind of pop up in the movie later, and you're like, oh yeah, that was at the beginning, wasn't it? So you'd have to go back and watch it a couple times to pick up all the little cameos and whatnot.
It seemed very deep. Okay. Yeah, very deep. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. So 5 reels is the highest rating, 1 reel is the lowest. So out of 5 reels, how many reels would you give this movie?
I would say 2.5.
Well, okay, that's enough. Okay.
2 is about where I would be landing at.
Okay, so not so great, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't regret seeing it, but I probably could have waited for it to come out on video. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you guys very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So here we have with us Emily and Daniel. Emily, start off. What are your thoughts on this movie? It's a lot of hype behind it.
I thought it was really good. Like it was really well done, and like the storyline, it was just really good.
Okay. A lot of people are talking about the performance of Lupita Nyong'o, the protagonist. I mean, what did you think about her acting?
I thought it was really well. Like she really did portray like the different characters, like very well. And you get like, I thought she did a really good job.
Okay. And have you guys seen Get Out by any chance? The other movie by Jordan Peele. Okay. How would this? I'll start off with you, Daniel. How does this compare maybe to that movie, just in general?
I think the storyline was definitely a lot more complex with this one, and I really appreciated that.
All right. And Emily?
I agree. Get Out was more easy to follow, but this had a lot of like different like twists and turns with it, and yeah, it was done well.
So along those lines, the twists and turns, was that easy to follow, or was that kind of all over the place for you, Daniel? Anything like that?
It was easy to follow. I think I'm going to need to take some time to just like really map out everything that happened. It was a little bit confusing, but still, I mean, just the complexity of it was, like outstanding, and I really appreciate that.
Okay. So I think I have an idea of maybe what your rating for the movie would be. So on our show with the Reel Screeners, we rate our movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how many movie reels, we'll start with Emily, would you give this movie?
I'd say a 4.7.
Okay. All right. And yourself, Daniel?
I'd say 4.5.
So obviously Jordan Peele directed this movie and Get Out. Do you think he has a future in the horror genre?
Oh yeah, like he adds comedy and horror like very well, and it's just like a perfect balance.
Oh, most definitely. It's a very different take on horror, especially from just like the usual jump scares that people are used to, and yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on the show with the Reel Screeners, guys. Hopefully we'll see you back here at the Alamo Drafthouse. Have a nice evening.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you guys. Take care.
So here we are at the Alamo Drafthouse with Frank and Shay, who just got out of watching Us, Jordan Peele's new flick. Okay, so what is your initial reaction to this movie, Frank? Do you consider it a great horror film?
Well, yeah, I do consider it a great horror film. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
And it was...
Some good humor?
Yeah, it was very exciting. Some good humor, and it kept me on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Excellent. What about you?
Wow, just to see the cast, like the characteristics, African Americans, you don't usually see.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes.
What did you think of her acting?
Oh, she's so transparent. Like she can do so much. Yeah, I saw that, and then a family movie. It's usually the college kids that are
at the forefront, but here it's like a family. Okay, so you thought that was good?
Yeah, that was different. Okay. And the history of it, like from a little girl, she had this story going on.
Right. Good character development throughout. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have seen Get Out, Jordan Peele's first movie? Yes. So how would you compare this movie to his previous film, Get Out?
Well, it's sort of similar. I mean, the plot is really interesting. It grabs you, and at the end, it really makes you, look at the whole movie and say, "Wow, I get it.
I
get it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Were you surprised by the twist at the end? What did you think of that?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really brilliant because I was like, wow, I see. I get it.
It makes sense.
I know exactly what's going on. It all came in full circle. So yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Shay?
That's interesting to bring the two together and try to see, because usually horror movies are so in fantasy realm. You know, it's creatures and which these were humans. You know, and then that it touched in what's going on in our world. You know,
a good social commentary.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah.
Important stuff that he's bringing to the forefront. Okay.
It really makes you think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. 5 reels being the highest rating, 1 reel being the lowest.
Out of 5 reels, I think I'd give it a 4.
A 4. Okay. Fair enough. What about you, Frank?
I give it a 4.5. Pretty close to a 5 though, because it just was really entertaining.
Okay, all right, awesome. Okay, well, we appreciate you sharing your reaction to this movie. Thank you very much, and have a good night, okay? All right, we're here at the Alamo Drafthouse with Taylor and Keaton, who just got out of watching Us. And so, in your opinion, do you think this is a great horror film?
That was awesome. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Went in expecting something great after watching his first movie he put out last year, I believe. Get Out, yeah. So we were really excited.
Awesome. What about you?
I absolutely loved it. The best of the comedy, the best of the dark horror.
Combined.
Absolutely combined.
So you guys think that the comedy and the horror put together works well?
Oh yeah, he does an amazing job at it. Can't beat it.
Yeah. Compared to Get Out, how would you say this movie compares to Get Out?
I liked it a little bit better. I really did.
Yeah. Okay.
Much better. Honestly, fantastic film. I loved it so much.
What do you think elevates this movie above Get Out?
I don't know. Something about it kind of gripped me more. From the beginning of it to the end, I was a little bit more attached to it the whole time. It was, from start to finish, roller coaster ride.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
It was definitely the intensity of the film, and what I really appreciated was the theme of it, fighting the inner demons of the dual personalities.
Okay.
That is a theme that, just about anyone can relate to. That's some heavy stuff. Fantastic, absolutely.
Okay. Some viewers are bothered a little bit by its ambiguity. I mean, it's open to interpretation. What did you guys feel about the ambiguity? Do you enjoy that, or do you wish you had some more answers?
I mean, I think that's kind of the point of the movie. Like, we're gonna go home and probably talk about it. I'm gonna see it way different than she is. I think that's what makes a movie so great. Is we both get different experiences, but we're kind of on a common thread throughout the whole movie.
Perfect. What do you think?
I agree with that as well. I still have questions that I want answers to, and I'm gonna go home and ask Taylor, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? But what I'm really appreciating is the themes and the questions of the movie rather than the reality.
Awesome. So okay, very, very, very well said. Okay, so on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. So 5 reels being the highest rating, 1 being the lowest. So out of 5 reels, how many reels would you give this movie?
Oh, easy, like a 4.5, I think. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
Okay.
This is why we're together, 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go, yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for sharing your reaction. Likewise, thank you. Okay, have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
All right, so out of watching Us, we have Brian. Brian, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
All right, so what are your general thoughts on this movie?
It was really good. I like how they had subtle hints of like spirituality in there, like the number 1111.
Right.
This actually has a lot of meaning behind it. I liked how they added that in there.
Okay. So this was a movie that had a lot more substance than you would imagine from a horror movie, right?
Yeah, it was actually a very complex plot. I liked it.
Okay. So on our show, The Real Screeners, we do a rating of 1 to 5 for the movies. Mm-hmm. How many movie reels would you give this movie?
I'd give 5. That was pretty good.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Brian, so much for being on the show with The Real Screeners. You have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. Take care.